Welcome. This is a picture of an Intellivision. It's an old game console launched in 1979. That's nearly 10 years before I was born. And I, like I dare say many of you, have never seen one in the flesh. And I've always been a little bit curious about this age of games, sort of the very early ones, what they were like to play. So when I spotted on eBay, for less than £4, Intellivision Lives, a collection of 62 games, I couldn't resist. I wanted to know what these games were like. I'm going to show you a selection of games, not all of them obviously, just a selection to give you a taste of what they're like, and we can explore Intellivision together. Let's have a look.
And here we are. So the central hub where you choose your games is like a little arcade all split up into these machines, and the games are in categories, which I like. And as you can see here, I'm selecting Star Strike. Never played any of these at all before, so it's all new to me. I'm just selecting random games, but I always think of space games when I think of this age of game. As you can see here, it always gives you a little lineup of what the controls are. What it doesn't tell you is a lot of the games you need to press select for and access a keypad, but you don't need to on this one. Now, it took me a couple of seconds to work this out, but I'm the blue dot, the largest blue dot moving around the centre of the screen. I can shoot forward and I can drop bombs down as well onto the little white line beneath me. This is alright, to be perfectly honest. I'm not having a bad time of it. A little bit difficult to keep track of where my little ship is, but not bad. Let's see what else we can do. Right, what shall we try next? What looks a good... So yeah, Space Hawk. Sounds alright, doesn't it? Intellivision presents Space Hawk. So it appears that I'm the little bloke in the middle. I can't move, but I can change direction and I can aim. And one would assume... Oh, I think I've just used a bomb thing there. I didn't mean to. Anyway, one would assume that anything else that's coming towards me needs shooting. Obviously, I can't move perfectly, so I can only go left, right, up, down, and then at sort of 45 degrees as well. So you'd have to wait for things to come into your field of fire, but nothing wrong with that. Adds another little bit of difficulty, I suppose. Again, nothing wrong with this. It reminds me a little bit of like the handheld Tiger Electronic games that I used to have when I was really young. So, yeah, not too bad. Let's find something else to see. And back to the menu. Now, I remember a game vaguely called Asteroids, so let's try Astro Smash, see if that's any similarity there. So again, you know, got the screen telling us the controls, which is handy. A 1981 game this time. Right, here we are. Okay. A little bit like Space Invaders, I suppose. And I did terribly there. Let's have another go, see if I can get a little bit better. I mean, the thing is, although I've never played an Intellivision console or even any games, I've seen footage from and things like that on YouTube, so I knew to expect very simple games, simple mechanics and graphics. You have to remember the age of these games. I mean, they're all older than me. But in general, not having a bad time here. Let me show you some sound effects. I'll whiz it forward to a bit where there's some more rocks falling. And I think that'll do us for the space games. What's in the next cabinet? Kids games. We'll perhaps just try one of these. It was interesting just to see something from each area. So Sharp Shot. No idea what this is. Let's have a look-see. Right, I think it's meant to be submarines. I'm the white one at the bottom. I can only go left and right, and I can't control when I go left or right either. So pretty much all I'm doing is pressing a button to fire and trying to time it so I can get the enemies. It's okay. I've not got anything particularly great to say about it, nothing particularly negative. It's probably the worst one graphically I've seen so far, but yeah, it's alright. I could see this being okay for kids of the late 70s and early 80s maybe. I'm personally getting quite bored quite quickly, so let's move on. I do like the system of having all the different categories of games in these different arcades. It's quite neat. So let's have a look at some sports games. Now, quite a few of these do say you need a second controller because they're two-player games. I'm playing these on my own, so we'll try and skip most of those. Let's have a look first of all at auto racing. Note that says we need 2 controllers. Motocross, that's okay. I do like a racing game, so let's have a look at motocross. Should be bike racing. This controls absolutely terribly. It's very hard to get them to go in the right direction. But there we go. Oh look, a jump. And it wouldn't turn the corner. Probably the worst controlling game I've played ever. Definitely as part of this collection so far. Can't even get him to go straight. But we'll persevere just a tiny bit longer. Looks a bit more like he's riding a lawnmower than a bike, and he's spending more time in the grass. Still, jumps are good, even got a shadow effect. But I think that's enough of that one. Let's move on to something else. This took a while to set up using the keypad by pressing select, so I've skipped ahead. So you bring up the keypad to choose your club. Obviously we're going to use a driver in this case. And I must have been facing the wrong way. Try again. If all else fails, try again. We're in the rough. I think this is the whole game. Let's try a 5 wood out the rough, see if that works at all. I know I should probably use a pitching wedge, but I'm trying to see if I can get a bit more distance. Yes, I used to play golf. So, you know, I'm exciting, but I stopped because, well, I got bored of it, to be perfectly honest. Right, speaking of getting bored of golf, this game is quite dull as well, and I've sped up the footage you're watching now, so yeah, time for something else, I feel. Last of the sports games, let's try tennis. I used the keypad to select where I want to serve from, and I seem to have just thrown the ball in the air and not hit it. So, let's use the keypad again. We'll serve from the centre. So you tee it up in the air, then you have to press the button again to hit it. As you can see, the other player hasn't moved at all, which makes me think that this might be a 2-player game and I just didn't notice. But still, you get the idea. Not bad, I suppose, but starting to want something a bit more meaty, if I'm honest. Let's try a different category. I will say you're at the stage now where you've only seen about a quarter of the games I've tried. I wanted to get some variety to show you, and I'm not going to lie, I'm starting to get a little bit bored of these games. As much as it's a novelty, seeing something this different and something I've never seen before, I can't say I think any of them are particularly good. I mean, you have to remember that these were the best of the time. But anyway, so this is an arcade game. As you can see, I'm the little person, the beige one. I've just gone and picked up a gun, and I'm in this maze where I can only assume I'm supposed to shoot the other creatures. You can shoot up, down, left and right using the appropriate buttons, and I'm using the D-pad to move around. This is probably actually... oh, I just died. But this is probably one of the more fun games I've played so far. So when you die, you start off in the little light blue circle, avoiding the bats, of course. Get the gun, shoot the baddies, seems to be the name of the game. This isn't bad at all, actually. Having just said I was getting a little bit bored of them, I could see myself playing this for a little while. Not hours, but a little while. Okay, this is good. Maybe the arcade section's where the gems are. Let's try something else. That last game was Night Stalker, by the way, and this is called Racing Cars. So it's a 2-player game, but I just thought I'd load it up just to see what it's like. As you can see, I'm the one on the left. It's basic. Sound effects aren't bad. Let me show you. I said not bad. Didn't say they were perfect. But that was okay. Right, let's try something else. What shall we look at next? What looks good? Shark. If I have to say the name twice, it must be good, surely. Right, let's just get past the loading screens. Here we are. I'm the little yellowy fish that's just eaten the blue one. Seems quite simple. Eat the small fish, get points, and avoid the predators. So you got the black shark, the purple octopus. Not sure if that crab thing I can eat or not. Let's have a look. Nope, just died. Okay. Don't know what to say about it, really. I think I've just covered the entire game. Let's see what else we can see. Time for another cabinet. Gaming. This would be like more traditional games. Let's have a look at horse racing. I've spared you watching me set the game up, And I'm going to be honest here, I couldn't exactly work out what to do in this game, so I'm just showing you the graphics, and that's all I can really say. So I couldn't work out what to do. Probably says more about me than the game. Honestly, I'm not a fan of those sorts of games, like playing checkers or chess on a computer, although chess wasn't actually an option. Let's have a look around the rest of the arcade so you can see a little bit about the history of the Intellivision. And we've got combat and sorcery. Ah, this looks like an interesting category. Sorry that the screen's gone a bit on the skew with. But here we are, look, I'm in something where I'm battling tanks. This is different. Now again, this is a 2-player game, which is why the other tanks aren't moving. I'm the blue ones, the black ones should be player 2. But I can control my tank, I can move it around. I can change between the two as well. Goes different speeds over different terrains, so it's much slower over what I'm guessing is meant to be plants or forest. This is alright actually. If there was 2 of us playing, we could have a laugh for 5 minutes or so. Not too shabby. That wasn't too bad at all. Let's try another tank game, Battle Tanks. This is another 2-player game, but I just wanted to have a look at it. So I'm the blue one, second player would be the red one, if I have any friends to play games with. And yeah, you just move around and shoot each other, I suppose. Just move it around a little bit, see if I can get them in target. These aren't easy to control, they're not very responsive, but never mind. No, okay, the bullets bounce back and I've killed myself, even though I weren't playing against anybody. But you got to laugh, haven't you? Let's see what else is on here. See if we can find something sorcery-like, because it says combat and sorcery. What's a sorcery-sounding game? Tower of Doom. Well, that certainly sounds sorcery-like, doesn't it? So let's give this one a go. Okay, right, I quite like the entrance. We'll just go with novice, I think, considering I'm still struggling to get used to the controls and things. Bit of animation, and here we are. So right, I'm the green figure. I'm guessing I'm some sort of knight. Okay, and I seem to be in some sort of labyrinth. So the map on the top left shows me where I can go and what I've highlighted and discovered. That's all right. The box underneath, oh, I've gone into a fight scene mode. Okay, that's interesting. So it changes when you're actually in combat. That's cool. The box underneath the mini-map, that seems to be my item box. Now, obviously, you'd have to get used to knowing what's what because the symbols aren't terribly clear, but I can live with that. Let's have an explore. This has actually got a little bit of promise. Oh, another bat. Let's go, or bug or whatever. Let's go into combat. I've not got any weapon selected. That's my bad. Quickly select something. Come on, quick. Get the staff. That looks weapon-like. Right, okay, it's a sword. And I've taken him down. And now there's a snake thing. Let's attack you too. This is alright. Okay. I mean, obviously you're not going to get any massive story or anything. I'm guessing that if you get further into the game, maybe it would tell you something with text. Unless you just have to use your imagination. Anyone under the age of 25 watching this probably never really had to use their imagination to play games, but we used to all the time, and it was actually really good fun. Should try it sometimes, but oh, I've got a little door here I don't seem to be able to go into. Maybe I've got to find a key or something. This has got potential. In fact, I think this is where we're going to leave it, because this game, one of the better ones I've played so far, and I want to end on a high. So let's finish with Tower of Doom and have a little chat.
And there we go. That was just a small selection of Intellivision games. I did end up trying a lot more than that, but I just selected a few to show you, a bit of variety and a bit of a taste of what they're all like. So now I've played this, have I all of a sudden got an itch to go and buy old video games from before I was born? Absolutely not. Look, the novelty was there, but even that wore off for me quite quickly. I like retro gaming, but I think the 90s is where I stop. Anything pre-90s, a little bit too old for me. Still, it was interesting to see. It was a nice little experiment. It didn't cost a lot. Less than £4. And I'm glad to have it in the collection. I might pick it up again, I might not. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this little look into gaming history with me, and I'll see you very soon. Ta-ra for now.